Am I live? Am I live? Okay, there we go. I am live. Sorry, you all, that I am late, but better late than never. Today was my nephew's, plural, graduation, and so we have been sparsed out, and it took a little longer than expected. So excuse me, but celebrations happen. You have to be there for those big momentous occasions. Another big momentous occasion is today we are going to be doing a reading on Dilraba or Dilreba. I've seen it spelled two different ways. So if you see me spelling it with the E in one moment and the A in the next, I don't understand the difference. Sorry, but I've seen it spelled Dilraba and Dilreba. So I may interchange that throughout this reading. But it's no disrespect because I literally have seen it spelled both ways. But what inspired me to do this reading was that I was actually looking to do a reading on Xiaolin Li Ying, and then I realized that Dilraba is actually a part of a minority group. She's a Uyghur, or she's her. Yeah, well, basically she's Muslim. She's a Chinese Muslim practitioner, and she is, or a Muslim Chinese. I don't know how they would say that, but I'm sorry, this sounds really insensitive, but I don't know how they would say it. But I know they were saying she's a descendant of the Uyghurs, and she is a practicing Muslim, and she is yet one of the highest paid Chinese actresses, and she's very popular. I actually love one of the shows that she starred in called You Are My Glory, hence why I decided to name this video that. But in lieu of that, I was like, well, why not do a reading on her? Because it's pretty interesting that she comes from a group that seems to be getting persecuted, or this like kind of shunned in China, and I thought it would be interesting to do a reading on her and see kind of like how that shows up in her career, or if she's not bothered by it at all. And what's going to be coming up for her in the future. So I haven't heard anything about any scandals or her leaving, or, you know, anything with her love life and stuff. I know some people are probably interested in that as well, but that's where my interest comes from. I just really kind of wanted to see how that dichotomy works for her. It's not like it's something extremely weird, because that is something that I'm pretty sure a lot of actors here in America deal with, whether you are Black or Asian or Indian or Hispanic. Like, you deal with the same things as well. You're persecuted one minute and they love you the next, or it's like, oh, well, you're not like them kind of thing. So yeah, so without further ado, we're going to get into this reading because I have already been late. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. We're going to get into this thing, okay? And for anyone who is more informed on kind of like what that cultural mix-up is with, you know, her being a Uyghur, or like just kind of like how the stars or celebrities kind of work through things like that, because I would think she isn't the only one, but if she is the only one, kudos to her, because she's been doing the dang thing, okay? So let's just tap in and see if we can get an energy reading on her, and then we're going to go from there, okay? Okay. Oh. That was a lot. I'm gonna, as you can see, I do this on screen so people see that I kind of try to mix these up in there. Okay. And all of her cards are coming up in reverse. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Technically, it could just be like blocked energies or things that she has to overcome. But let's check and make sure. So this is the Death card. I need to look. I want to say it's Death. I'm pretty sure it is, but Yes, death. So, yep, she has the death in reverse here. And again, this is something, usually with the death card coming up in reverse, is usually something about a resistance to change is usually the thing that comes to mind for me, is something that you don't want to change, or something that you're kind of trying to ignore or walk away from. Again, something that you are kind of trying to put on, you're trying to postpone from happening. And then she also does have the Daughter of Swords here. And the Daughter of Swords, this makes me think of kind of almost like that Virgo, not Virgo. This almost makes me think of like that Aquarian, maybe like Gemini energy here when I see the Daughter of Swords. Kind of like someone who has the information and hasn't quite put it into practice just yet. They're kind of taking the wrong actions here. Like I know something, there's something that I am retaining, or that I don't maybe know all the information on, and I'm kind of just acting rash or acting on my emotions, or I'm going back and forth about it, kind of like thinking about it because I'm not refined in how I kind of want to go about putting this into action. And then we also have the Justice card coming up in reverse here. Ooh, Justice coming up in reverse. I mean, yes, it could be persecution. It could be legal matters that are on the horizon for her. It could be something dealing with imbalance, if we want to just kind of like keep it really simple. Again, this lady is holding a sword here too. So is she a Libra? Is she a Libra? There's some, let's see here. Is she? I gotta look up her. Oh, I totally skipped over there. Oh. Oh, she is a Gemini. Oh, so this explains why I said Virgo, because according to Astrology by, she is a Virgo ascendant and a Gemini sun. Hmm. The duality of her. That's probably why she's able to be where she is right now, because of her duality as well. Geminis, they may know better, but they don't always mean they're gonna do better. And then sometimes it'd be like, I'm gonna do better, but they don't always know better. Or they try to do better and they don't always know better. The underlying energy here is the Ten of Cups. And, the interesting thing with the Ten of Cups is usually it's like emotional fulfillment. It can sometimes also tie into personal matters, things of like home, family, those kind of things. So it is coming up in the upright. So I wonder if there's a thing here where it's like I'm trying to maybe, I don't know, keep her personal and her business separate. But she does have the Lovers and it's coming up in reverse. Typically when I see the Lovers and I'm doing a reading on a single person, yes, it could be something where it's romantic feelings involved, but sometimes I also see this as misalignment or something that you are not fully comfortable with, you aren't fully on board with doing here. And that could be something here where that could be causing issues or mental blockages and things like that. Hence why that energy is probably steady coming up for her. And then we also have the Malika of Coins. Yeah, this makes me feel like there is a thing here she is trying to balance, or yeah, maybe it's something here she's trying to balance between her personal life and her work life. Personal life and work life here. And we did get the scales here, the Justice card, that sometimes it's also balancing, juggling, trying to keep things in order. Again, maybe there is something here with legal issues as well, because then we also have the Five of Coins too. So I don't think she would have concerns, or there should be concerns for like her finances, but I don't know this lady like that. So what do I know? Let's see if I can get more information. You know what? No, let's use this one. See if I can delve in a bit deeper to what her energy is coming up. Oop, okay. The first card was the Alchemist. It did come up in the reverse, so I'm gonna read the shadow attributes, and it says misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. Okay. This keeps wanting to come out. Saboteur highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it will bring to your life. That is some Gemini type stuff. I will destroy my life before you will. Okay, and what is this one? We have child wounded. It says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. The shadow attributes, the only reason why I'm reading both is because it fell out like this, so I'm going to read both. The shadow attribute says blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Is she kind of being I want to say ostracized, but that might be too extreme. Maybe the word I'm kind of looking for is maybe like pushed out or kind of like held at a distance, or does she keep herself at a distance from her people, her friends and family because of what they practice, what they preach? Is maybe there's something there about her maybe being in the religion or something that she's in, or the family, it could be just like family practices or something like that, that they don't necessarily agree with that she's doing as she's working. But she is a pioneer, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. She has the storyteller in reverse here, making up tales that harm others. That doesn't sound right. And then we also have Avenger, and this came up in shadow, saying resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Interesting underlying energies there with the archetype. Come on, what's these two? You have the star, a man. It's always a man in here, honey. Marketplace. Let's see, two more cards here. I don't know. Maybe there's cause or concerns of her settling down. I mean, it sounds foreign and odd to me. Like, I wouldn't think that's still such a big thing nowadays. But, you know, in certain cultures, that's like end all be all. Ooh, children. Or it could be, again, something from the past. It's also another thing I think of when I see the child card here. Maybe trying to outmaneuver something from the past. Let's see. And what is this? And then we also have the moon. So, okay. So we have the star card here, and the star card can lend to a lot of things. It can be, it can actually speak to her actual stardom, her wanting to leave like a legacy or a legacy, some kind of mark in the industry. There's also a thing here. Did I just turn this crooked? I don't know if that was me or not. There's also a thing here of the stars also being kind of, you know, I think of I wish upon the star, you know, things that you're hoping on. It could also be something maybe feeling lost and needing guidance, because that's another thing I think of when I see the star cards, sometimes directions that you need. And then we have the man card here, and the man card could literally just be there's a man in the picture somewhere here. It could be family, it could be a romantic partner, it could be her management, who knows. But there's something here with like a man and a choice that has to be made, a decision that has to be made. And that seems to be something that's been kind of like repeated through the cards that I've been getting. There's some kind of decision, there's some kind of, I don't know. I want to say like finality, but I don't want to say that and make it sound more dramatic than what it is. But it definitely feels like it's something that's kind of like a make it or break it point where you either go sit on the pot or not. Like make your move or get up so somebody else can kind of do it or something like that. It does kind of feel like a make it or break it point here with the paths card here, kind of like or crossroads, like which choice are you going to make here? There's some sort of deliberation that she is trying to hold off or push off, or it's really been like upsetting and worrying her. It's been like top of mind that she is dealing with. I don't, again, the child card, it could be dealing with something with maybe her wanting to start a family or pressure to start a family or be married, or it could be something from the past. I'm actually going to check this book and see what it also says about the child, because I feel like there's a point of this that I'm also missing when it comes to the child card. So the child card brings in the idea of have fun, enjoy, play, feel young, and be spontaneous. It also talks about beginnings and the start of something new. See, she made a choice, start something new. Concerned about the future with the moon here. So there's some kind of concern about a choice that she's going to make and how it's going to affect her future. I think that's what this is alluding to. And it could be causing her to kind of like lash out or act irrational. Childish behavior. So it's kind of like she's stomping her feet and throwing things. Diva-ish behavior almost. That's what it is. And again, the moon card is usually dealing with things of secrecy, things behind closed doors, things that, you know, I don't want the public to know. It's not, you know, forward facing. The moon also deal with feelings. So there may be some concerns, some mixed feelings here about what's going on with this choice, this deliberation, this mental block that she's dealing with, that she is kind of like weighing the scales on, that she's going back and forth on, that's kind of probably causing her to kind of like lash out or act out or not act like she normally does here. It's something she's trying to hold off. I don't know exactly what that is, but that's her business. But that's what I'm getting for her energy reading. But let's see what's coming up here in the future. See what's popping for her in the future. Maybe that'll give some, elucidate some things here. Make sure my audio is still working. It looks like it on my end. Okay, but I just want to make sure. Okay, 9 of coins. That's again coming up with some like wish fulfillment things coming. Not wish fulfillment. That's the cups. Excuse me. The 9 of coins is, you know, kind of like enjoying one's fruits of their labor, essentially. I can do it on my own. It's kind of independent woman energy as well. So I wonder if there's something here where she's kind of bucking. Maybe that's the deliberation, the thing that's kind of making her toss and turn, is that she's kind of bucking the trend of what is normally calls on or asked for, maybe in her culture, her religion, her family, when it comes to you being a woman of a certain age or a certain status. Like, yeah, we like, say for example, this could be the case. Like, okay, we said we was gonna allow you to go out here and go do acting and pursue what you wanted to do for 10 years, but after 10 years you have to come back home and you have to settle down and you have to do da 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 da. But now it's like, okay, we're 10 years in, but I find I really like this. I really enjoy it. It's really been, you know, I finally have my breakthrough. I can't slow up now. I can't stop this now. And there's maybe some things here about feeling guilty about that. That could be the case, just as an example. But, you know, yeah, the 9 of coins, it gives me like boss babe, independent energy. Oh, that was 4 cards, and I'm gonna read them and then I'm gonna put them back because they actually didn't fall out like I needed to. They did fall out like this. So I do know I read reversals. We do have the Five of Cups here. There's usually mourning something, crying over spilled milk. We do have the Eight of Staves, something that she probably wants to happen more slowly. It's not happening fast enough for her. Something here. We also have, oh, it's a lot of eights. 888. She ate that. No, the Eight of Swords. Oh, something of your own making, a trap of your own making. Something that you can see your way out of. And then the Daughter of Staves. I want to explore and do what I want. I am independent. I am my own light, my own fire. I am enough. I'm going to do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. There is also some childish behavior, almost some Aryan energy. And I can say that because I am an Aries. It is definitely giving some Aryan energy in there. But let's see what's coming up. And you know, Virgo is usually a very restrictive card. Like, I want to say Capricorns, and I'm not even going to say Taurus. You want to say Capricorns can be very restrictive. Virgos, I don't know why they restrict themselves. They tie themselves up, okay? And everybody else, because it's like, well, I know the right way to do it. So I don't know if that's also some energy coming through where she's kind of like, this is that Virgo and that Gemini are kind of fighting each other, because Gemini, yes, they're good communicators, but Geminis are typically very like fluid, very go with the flow of things, and Virgos are very like structured. So I can see, you know, if those are her actual signs in her chart, in her big three, I can see how that energy can be pretty much keep her immobile, keep her bonded and tight in this tight spot. But that is her. Okay, let's see what card is this. Oh, the Sun here. So there is some bright future ahead, but right now in her current energy, there is a decision that she is deliberating on. There is something. Okay, this Eight of Swords came back out again, so I'm going to keep it there, but look at what it also came out with. Judgment and the Three of Swords. Judgment could literally mean just that, like somebody being judgmental, her being judgmental. Virgos will do that. They will be very judgmental of themselves, critical of themselves and others. And then you have the Three of Swords here, which usually is like heartbreak, pain, agony, something that a loss, something you can't get over. But let's see. The underlying energy here, this is something dealing with her business. Because this is the second time I've got something with coins here. And the Daughter of Swords came back up again. So I feel like the decision is finally made. She acted on it. Because we had this for her energy cards. There's something in the future where she's made her choice, that she has acted on it. And it's leading to this here. It feels like it's kind of going to box her in. But this is making me feel like this is the reason why I say I feel like this is something with her career, because last time we had the Queen of Cups. This time we have I keep saying cups, the Queen of Coins, and this time we have the Daughter of Coins. I think this is something dealing with her work. And then we have the Death card yet again, coming out in reverse. There is something she is still putting off. She has not worked through. Look, and it's going to end badly. It's going to end badly. Or it's not going to end the way she wants. I'm going to put it that way. That's the nice way of saying, you know, it's probably not going to end the way that she wants. It's not going to come to this close that she wants, or the outcome. It's not going to be the outcome that she expects or she is planning on. I'll say that. And this is one heck of a high to fall from. You go from the Sun card, everything's glorious and fine and bright. You have the whole world is your oyster, to she's feeling mentally trapped. There's something where it's like, is it a contract? That's the only thing I can think of that, you know, business-wise, that would have her held up here is with the Eight of Swords is like a contract or something. Okay, the first card to come out here is the Virgin. It did come up in the upright. It says, maintain symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Uh-oh. Notice, okay, I don't know if you all can see it. So what I was saying in the last one is it was something about a man that was coming up for her, right? Come on, focus. Focus. So it come up clear. Can y'all see that? Say fear of intimate union. And I was saying something like, it feels like it's almost like they're trying to get her to be engaged or married or something like that. It's something that is like coming up for her. And I wonder if that's what this card is alluding to, where it's like, okay, we had a promise, there was a deal made here and you're not, there was a deal or something made here and you're not following through on it. Okay, I'm gonna take these two cards. Ooh, one of these is come on, a gamble that she's taking, a choice that she made. She made a choice. I said, oh, she's going to make this choice. And the light attributes on the gambler reads, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Okay. That was her clarity, her sun moment there. But then she also got that child wounded coming up again. And it came up in the shadow attributes, which says, blame all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Something from her past. I was saying something about that when the child card fell out. What is the hang up that she have about relationships from her childhood that makes her fear, I'm going to say intimacy. And it doesn't have to be in the adult way. It could be intimacy of friendship, just being close to people, of being open, of being emotionally available, of being emotionally in tune with herself. Even it could be a theme that's coming up here, which I kind of find hard for Geminis, because I feel like Geminis are like so friendly and open with everyone, but you know, that's the dichotomy and the duality of a Gemini. It's some twins. They're battling themselves at all times. I can always put on this face and this front that I'm nice and friendly and love and open, but when I'm behind closed doors and very much to myself, and this is when her Virgo kick in, because wasn't she a Virgo moon? Isn't that what they said? No, an ascendant, but she has a Cancer as her moon. But that's where that Virgo could be kicking in for her when she's like, she's by herself. If people tend to not know, typically Virgos are very prone to bouts of, I have to laugh because it's sad, but Virgos are very prone to depression. They are, I don't know what it is about Virgos. They are prone to being like depressive. I don't know if it's because they just, it's kind of like the, what they call it, the mad scientist gene or something that they have. It's kind of like, because I know so much or I absorb so much and I see so much, almost up there with that kind of like the Aquarian, that humanitarian energy. Like, I love everybody, but I hate everybody at the same time. Virgos is very much like, I know I'm the best one in the room, but I also freaking hate myself because I'm not doing better. I'm not excelling, or you can always be doing this, or, you know, I hate everybody else because everybody else is so freaking stupid. Like, Virgos very much have kind of like that energy as well. Ooh, look at that mountain. And it came up on what? Her wanting to be independent, her wanting to be free of something here. And I don't think it necessarily has to be her spirituality, but maybe it could be things of like cultural rights, or what they call it, cultural expectations or something like that. And she's struggling with that because she's like, I don't want to adhere to that. That's not something that feels right to me. It doesn't feel comfortable. She's kind of walking this fine line of bucking this trend, but it has also gotten her this far. Okay, that was a lot of cards that exploded out of my hands here. I'm going to see if I can find them all. I just want y'all to note, y'all see that coffin, that death card coming up again for Miss Mamas? Something again she's trying to hold off, not wanting to happen. Snakes. So snakes to me don't always mean something bad. Snakes can also be kind of like their renewal energy, because I think of like snakes shedding their skin. If you don't know, in a lot of like ancient mythological or like religious things, you know, the snake sometimes symbolizes things of rebirth, renewal. It's a good thing. A lot of different religions have like or old, I'll say ancient religions kind of have like some kind of form of a snake god or something like that. So snakes don't always mean something bad to me, but sometimes it can speak of omens or change that is expected on the horizon. But we're gonna see if this actually supposed to come out. I don't always see snakes as a bad thing. Okay, look at where that heart fell out at too, and it's coming up in reverse. That coffin came out again in the middle of me shuffling. Okay, I think these are supposed to come out. I didn't think they were, but now that I'm looking at these cards, I was going to put them back. But now I'm going to put them out here. This isn't the order that they fell out, mind you. Something with a man. Clouds is usually something that is obscure, something that you cannot see. Let me make sure you all can get these on the screen so you can see them. So the mountain, the heart, you have the coffin, the man, the clouds, usually something obscure, something that you don't see. And what comes up there at the end? Her religion, her faith, her beliefs here that she holds close to her heart. And that's the one card that comes up in the upright. So, that's the one thing that's providing clarity here. That's the one thing that's coming up in the upright for her. Everything else leading up to that is coming up in reverse. So, I don't want to be the loose lips that's out here sinking ships, but it kind of feels like follow the path of your people. And stop trying to like go against the grain. Stop trying to be what your career or what, I want to say Hollywood, but that's not what they call it over there in China. Stop being what celebrity says you should be, and be who you are. I think you're going to come out better than, you know, in the long run, but I'm going to go back. So again, the mountains is usually something, and it's coming up in reverse. It's usually speaking to obstacles. So it's something that you're not going to get over. Remember we had the Three of Swords earlier, and we have the hearts here. Something that you're going to feel it. You're not going to get over it. It's not going to bypass you. You can't put your head in the sand and ignore it. It's going to end in some kind of heartbreak, some kind of disappointment here. Heart. We also have the coffin here. Again, what do you think that speaks to? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Death, endings, succumbing to something here. A man. I don't know exactly if it's somebody that she don't want to be with, or somebody that's kind of waiting in the peripheral or in the wings, or maybe it's somebody that she wants to be with that isn't going to kind of like work out the way that she wants. And we have the clouds here. I kind of want to hide that. I want to obscure it. I don't need it to be a thing. I'm going to fall back into my faith, maybe. That could be the energy. The underlying cards here, again, notice that snake comes up again, but the first card is home. This is dealing with home matters, personal feelings, personal matters, things that you are trying to work through. This is also a heart as well, so this could be, again, thinks cup energy, emotions. We also have the snake. Again, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but I think because she is not confronting it head on, it's probably going to turn into venom. You know, it's going to be something she could have taken small doses to find a cure for it and be immune, but because she decided to kind of like put it off, it's poisonous now. It's venom. And then we also have the Rider. And the Rider to me is usually things of like messages, something coming in quick as well. But this time it's delayed, it's slow, not receiving the message. So there's something there, again, once again, she's ignoring, or something was not received in time for her to kind of like maybe course correct is the word I want to say. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for her. This very much feels like Okay, and the other thing I would say, this could be something of like, I feel like she's dancing on the edge of a blade because she is trying to appease and be digestible for the whole, for the public, but she can't. It feels like it's certain things, it's a certain way that she has to go about doing it, because if she was to go about doing it in the authentic or the true and the full way that she would want to, there are consequences. And so she can't go about doing that, and she's also kind of like being punished for it on the other side of things, because they're like, well, that's not how we do things, that's not us, that's not you. This is kind of like what we do. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. As if I do it how you know, personally I would do it, or, you know, how my background told me to do it, the public would hate me. If I do it how the public or the netizens or whatever tell me how to do it, I'm gonna be, you know, ostracized or like pushed out from my personal. So what do you do? Because it also feels like it's a little guilt, because she's like, you know, this is the base. You know, my people is my base and the foundation of who I am and how I've gotten here, and has shaped and formed a lot of my thoughts and has helped me succeed in certain places. And I love them, but you know, I kind of like the people, the public way of doing things as well. So that could be the tough thing here that she's kind of like mulling over and trying to find her way out of, because again, we do have the Eight of Swords, that mental deliberation, that mental stagnancy that's going on here, that mental block that could be appearing for her. However, it is coming up in the upright, so hopefully there is something she's gonna, one way or another, either she's gonna find her way out of it, or, you know, the universe is gonna send something along to where it's gonna help her get through it. So one way or another, like, you don't have to figure it out, we'll figure it out for you. So, yeah. Pretty interesting reading. I was not expecting this. I thought it was probably going to be a bit more juicier than that. I am so sorry. I just noticed my phone decided to just like cut out because it wanted to go on sleep mode. So you are seeing a black screen right now. Oh, yep. Our phone is telling on me and saying, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. So that was it. That was the sign. That was the cue to cut this off and end this. And yeah, let me know if you all can give me some more insight, because again, this is a Chinese actress. I'm not familiar. I'm not informed on kind of like their cultural, you know, her culture, her religious practice and things like that, kind of like how they go about doing things. I'm not sure how the public honestly feels about her or anything like that. Do people kind of feel like she's a propaganda machine or something like that? Is she's kind of being pushed out here on the forefront to be pushed down people's throats, or whatever the case may be? Maybe you all can give me a bit more tidbits if you are somebody who's a bit more informed on Chinese culture and their practices and beliefs and things like that. Or maybe you're just a big Dilraba fan and you can just give me more insight. But with all of that being said, thank you all so much for coming on in and for watching. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see the next time I upload. And I wish you all a great night or day wherever you are. I will see you in the next video. Bye.